Okay, General Manager Luke Garrard, before we welcome Hartlepool United tomorrow evening. Luke, it's been a sticky patch of form. You gave a pretty honest interview after Ebbsfleet where you said maybe mindset needs to change. Is that something that you've looked to implement early this week?
Mindset, performances, standards. I said about reflecting. I reflected, went through a load of stuff with Jake mainly on Sunday, where we're looking vulnerable, why we're conceding so many goals, and address the group on Monday. Listen, we're quite fortunate this week that we've had 2 additional days as opposed to the one leading up to the game tomorrow evening. So, yeah, I left no stone unturned on Monday. The boys were told some home truths, as I said that they would be. I'm not overreacting, I'm just being honest. And I dealt in fact, spoke to the group about where I think we need to improve. Mindset hugely, standards massively, performances is a big one. And yeah, there was a good response on Monday, and then today I didn't address anything from Ebbsfleet, haven't addressed anything from previous games. It was all focused, turned to solely Hartlepool and getting on unbeaten run but putting wins on the board.
Yeah. Did you see a good reaction then today in training and also Monday?
Monday was tough because obviously it's a second day recovery for the group that played on Saturday. I'm very appreciative of going to the same well. Some players are playing a lot of minutes. Andrew Blanter's one of them. We're not foolish where he's at. He's had a fantastic reign of form in terms of 4 goals, but we need to manage his minutes. We spoke about when we brought him in how important he will be to the group and what he'll add in that offensive role. But yeah, we've got a box clever with certain personnel. So we had a second day recovery with the starters, and we had a session with the ones that haven't played as many minutes. And then today we've done a proper session focusing on how we feel we can go and affect Hartlepool and how we need to implement our game plan and getting back to our DNA as such.
Yeah, I won't touch on Saturday any more than I have to, but obviously you saw David Agbontahoma leave the field with an injury. Can you just give us an update on how he is?
Looking likely to be 2 to 3 weeks out. This is the problem we're having currently, because obviously we don't have the strength and depth. When people are returning from injury, they are going effectively straight back into a side. And that's an issue because we've had a reoccurrence of another injury, not the injury, but fatigue or overexertion on such a short turnaround in terms of being out for so long. So yeah, frustrating for David, frustrating for us. We know what he can bring. His return last year was fantastic. Massive part in us having the unbeaten run at the turn of the year with him and Bushy coming in as mid-season signings. But yeah, he's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. Jamal Feifel back on the grass, which is a plus. I've got a box clever because he's been out for 4 weeks since the 2nd of September, but he's a voice, he's a leader, and he's experienced. He knows what we're about as a management and the club itself. So again, that's a decision I'll have to make overnight, whether he goes straight back in. Liam O'Neill nearing a return, but no other news other than that in terms of the injury front. Okay,
looking ahead then to Hartlepool United, obviously a team relegated from League 2 last year. What have you made from their start into the National League and what are you expecting from them tomorrow?
Start was fantastic. I think they won 5 out of their first 6. He got a contract off the back of it, and quite rightly. They're in a similar sort of form as us. In their last 6, they've won 1 game. I've watched them closely. They very much married up against Solihull. It was hard to sort of dissect them in terms of a team shape because they went and played a 4-2-2-2, which I've not seen all year. Very much where I think they'll be tomorrow evening was the shape against Dorking. They've got a way of playing. Dizarivi up top is a massive foil for them, the way they play into him. Up aerially, he's very strong. Into his feet, he's very strong. The likes of Graham Mira, Finney that join in really, really well. And they're a team that like to get balls in the box. They attack it with an intent, and that's in open play and set plays. He's a very good manager. He knows the level inside out. He won it with Macclesfield however many years ago. And yeah, he's done a good job in terms of early on. They're having a little bit of a wobble. But like us, they had Mancini and Callum Cook that are massive parts of their team and their setup, and they've got injuries with them. So it's crazy how many people and how many teams are going through similar sort of incidents as us with regards to injuries to key personnel. But listen, what they have and what they have under their bonnet has got nothing to do with me. It's about what we do. And that's exactly what the message has been and is drummed into them again this week, that we need to ensure we go about our business come Wednesday evening and following on in the near future, because it's only what we can control that matters.
Yeah, it is another busy week, back-to-back home games, Hartlepool, Chesterfield, a tough week, but is this almost, back at home, is this almost a good chance to rebuild some form?
Back at home, if I was a paying punter, I'd be a little bit disappointed with our start. I'm going to ask them, you've read my programme notes about getting behind the boys, because they can be an influence for us turning this round. We've had some great moments as a collective, being myself, this dressing room and the fans, and we need to pull upon them tomorrow. I'm not foolish, we need to get them at it, and that's with our performance. And that will be, again, my message to the players. The fans are class, and if you give them something to shout about, they'll be right behind us. So, yes, nice that we are back at home, some home comforts, even though the form at home's poor. But it's a week where you're playing two ex-league sides. It's perfect for our underdog mentality to go out there and outwork everything that they offer up and ensure that we can come away with fundamentally a win tomorrow night. That's the key. It's the next game, the biggest game, and Hartlepool come to town, and we need to ensure that we're right at it to get 3 points.